The Second Vatican Council found its own ground in presenting the mystery of God, thanks to the efforts of the various movements, biblical, liturgical, theological, ecumenical, and pastoral. All these movements had in common the recovery and return to the sources of the adorable mystery of the Holy Trinity, as the source of salvation and hope for humanity. The Council found fertile ground in its efforts to discover the mystery of God, but after centuries of debate and political influence, the Council members encountered many deviations. A brief analysis revealed that these deviations were embedded precisely in the movements I mentioned at the beginning of this short article. The biblical, liturgical, pastoral, and ecumenical movements, which, although positive, could become self-centered, distancing themselves from the source. The Trinity. The Council's function was not only to support these movements but also to rearticulate and refocus them on the mystery of the Holy Trinity. It presented the Trinity as the keystone and the protomaterion, that is the primordial mystery of all Christian mysteries. The Trinitarian theocentrism defended by the Second Vatican Council, focused on criticizing and correcting the doctrine of anthropocentrism, without completely denying it. The Council sought to make people aware that the true fullness of grace could only be, or exist from the genuine face of God, that is God's choice to seek humankind, revealing himself as a triune personality. In their critique of anthropocentrism, the councilors opposed the authentic humanism of the time, which assumed humankind, decentralizing them from their divine part spiritual identity, making the arrogant that is sole responsible for understanding their relationship with their divine part. That is, the theocentrism and theological conception of man in the universe. What then happened with anthropocentrism, in its fundamental idea, that is it generated reactionary theologies and pastors, who neglected the mystery and transcendent, focusing only on the immanent. The Council does not nullify man, but rather places him back in his proper theocentric perspective, emphasizing that the mystery of the Trinity is not meant to humiliate man or disillusion him, but to redirect him to his economic salvific dimension. The central principle, which is God the Father, the Creator, is the original beginning and the ultimate goal of everything. Man is not the center but the destiny of God the Father himself, who is the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. This would have felt to us like a true golden age, prophesied and preconceived by various religions, sects, and spiritual movements, much talked about today, that is, something purely spiritual, and not economic financial. If you liked the content, subscribe, activate the bell, and follow the channel. Watch the main content.